prevail? It is and. Is it about consistency of our values or responding to change? They will say and. And there is one huge and behind any truly great, enduring enterprise that we have studied. And this is the and of preserving something core and stimulating progress. And I personally believe, after now having been a student of history, that this is the secret behind any great human system. That there is a core that has to be held tight, that has to be held not open for evolution and compromise or dilution. We hold these truths to be self-evident. But on the other hand, we have to have progress and change and evolution and big, hairy, audacious goals. And while on the one hand we hold these truths to be self-evident, on the other hand we also have to have, I have a dream. And it is that and of preserve the core and stimulate progress. Hold the values constant, but change the practices. Oh, the music's gone. This is what this is all about. First time I came here, I was amazed at all the different practices that would have shocked people that were older than me. But same values. Core values and BHAGs. Big, hairy, audacious goals. It's always fun to say big, hairy, audacious goals understated. Certain incongruity that just delights me. All right, to close, take out your to-do list. I don't want you to walk away saying, that was all interesting. I want you to do some things. So I'm going to give you 10 specific to-dos. You can choose to reject them. The best students are those who never quite believe their professors. Number one, and you'll see these will sort of kind of parallel some of the stages. I'll let you figure out how they do that. Number one, do your diagnostics. At our website, jimcollins.com, where everything is free, you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to spend any money, it's all there for you for free. We have a diagnostic tool called the Good to Great Diagnostic Tool. We can always be better. I promise you do not have perfect scores. Download it, use it with your team, self-assess, and confront the brutal facts about where you can do better. jimcollins.com, free, Good to Great diagnostic tool. Number two, count your blessings. Literally, count them in a spreadsheet. Do not stop until you have at least 100. And when I ran into my dear friend Bob Buford this morning, I asked him, I said, Bob, you ever count your blessings? And he thought about it for a minute. I said, and he said, well, it would take up a day because after I crossed 1,000, I'd run out of time. So maybe 100's low. Why? When we begin to account, which is why I like spreadsheets, account for all the good things that have happened to us that we did not cause. All the success that we did not cause. It's humbling. Count. Number three, another counting exercise. What is your questions to statements ratio? And can you double it in the next year? The best leaders we've studied maintain their humility not because they know the answers. They know they don't know the answers. They ask the right questions. I was taught this by a great mentor of mine, John Gardner, who wrote this wonderful book called Self-Renewal. I was a senior emeritus faculty at Stanford when I was a junior faculty. One day he called me into his office. I was 29 or 30. He said, Jim, it occurs to me you spend way too much time trying to be interesting. Why don't you invest more in being interested? Isn't it amazing how a great mentor can change our lives in 30 seconds? Number 4, answer the question, counting exercise. How many key seats do you have on your bus? What percentage of your key seats are filled with the right people? And what are your plans for getting to 100% with fantastic people? Number 5, do your How the Mighty Fall teams on the way up, teams on the way down diagnostic in your notebook. Number 6, with that team of right people assembled, in your next meeting, create an inventory of the brutal facts. What are the brutal facts that we face? Remember what Bill was saying earlier? You don't just put the vision out there. You have to say, why we can't stay here. What are the brutal facts? All of our leaders started first with brutal facts. Number 7, show of hands. I can't see everybody out there in the world. I'll presume you'll raise or not out there. How many people in this room have a to-do list? Yeah, we're all productively neurotic. How many have a stop doing list? Good. Culture of disciplined people, disciplined thought, disciplined action begins not with what we do, but with what we have the discipline to stop doing. Number 8, define results and show clicks on the flywheel or milestones, as Bill was talking about earlier. Focus there. Whether it's size of congregation, numbers saved. What do you mean, number of ministries served? What do you mean by great results? Precisely, concrete. And how can you demonstrate clicks on that flywheel? Number 9, double your reach to young people by changing your practices without changing your core values. And number 10, might be time in these difficult times to set a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, rooted in your purpose to reinforce the idea that your work is never done. Bob Buford and I were both touched by a great man named Peter Drucker. And on a day that I had the great privilege to spend with Dr. Drucker, I remember going to lunch with him, and he was sitting there. He ordered a salad, and then he ordered a Merlot and a double espresso. Down went the Merlot, then down went the double espresso. I thought, preserve the core, stimulate progress. He was 86 at the time, and I said, Dr. Drucker, which of your 26 books are you most proud of? He said, the next one. He wrote 10 more. And when I had the privilege, at the instigation of my dear friend Bob Buford, to go and keynote the Drucker Centennial last year to celebrate Peter's 100th year, which was a great honor, I went to the Drucker archives the night before. And there were all of his books written chronologically in his life. And I asked, where is age 65 on this shelf? The archivist pointed. It was 1/3 of the way across the shelf. At age 65, if you truly embrace the idea of his motto, be useful, at 65, if you never give in, at 65, you're 1/3 of the way through your usefulness. And so I will close with the close of How the Mighty Fall. If you truly set out to be useful, you can never capitulate. Never give in. Never, ever, ever, ever. The path out of darkness begins with those exasperatingly persistent individuals who are constitutionally incapable of capitulation. It is one thing to suffer a staggering defeat, as will likely happen to every enduring business, every social enterprise, and every person. And entirely another to give up on the values and aspirations that make a protracted struggle worthwhile. Be willing to change tactics, but never give up on your core purpose. Be willing to kill failed ideas, even to shutter huge operations you've been in for a long time, but never give up on the idea of building a great church. Be willing to embrace the inevitability of creative destruction, but never give up on the discipline to create your own future. Be willing to embrace loss, to endure pain, to temporarily lose freedoms, but never give up in the faith and the ability to prevail. Be willing to form alliances with former adversaries, to accept necessary compromise, but never, ever give up on your core values. Thank you very much.